you're celebrating what you believe in, which is the whole beauty of being
You
faithful,
are.
right?
What's
So
going on,
I
everybody? Welcome back for episode 12. My name is Brandon Nash, aka Sergeant Nash. We have Staff Sergeant Mike Barreri, retired, and this is Sergeant's Corner. Mike, what is your religious affiliation?
Catholic. I wouldn't consider myself a devout Catholic. I have been baptized, but not through the Catholic Church. But it's something that we're raising our kids in. Like it's something that my wife has a long history, long background in. I think every person that is pursuing their religion or trying to practice their religion, they should strive to be.
Yeah.
And I think, what do you call it? Doubt in your faith is due to lack of research. And if you do some research, I know the more I research my religion, the more faithful, more of a believer I become. Because the thing is, if you look at when Jesus was around, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all these events stemming from the Bible are directly tied to history. It's not some story that was told in a book, and there's no proof of it. It's no Romeo and Juliet. Like there's no proof of it.
No matter what you say, if you want to believe something and you're knowledgeable on it, and Charlie Kirk was one of my biggest people that I would be like, wow, he really makes me want to believe, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is, and here's an example I'll give you real quick so you understand where my head's at. Today, there are people that believe the world is flat. I have looked up, give me facts on why the world could still be flat and people are completely wrong. And there will be some like really convincing reasons why the world actually is flat. You should take a gander yourself and look it up. And it's like, okay, we're told the world's flat, believe it, right? That's why you have the flat earthers or whatever they're called. Now we're told how many people don't believe in the 1969, is it the moon landing, 69? People don't believe that ever happened, no matter what proof you have. So when it comes to the religion, and I say somebody tells me it's true because it's in the Bible. Well, who wrote the Bible?
That's not true.
Well, that's all I ever hear when I have a debate with somebody that believes in religion.
You got to look at relics as well that were discovered around that time. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. See, I think I'm misleading you. I believe in the people. I don't believe in the supernatural aspect of it. I don't think Jesus could magically heal people. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think he resurrected from the dead and washed everybody's sins away or whatever the translation to the story is. Like, because you're telling me that a prophet is the one that's telling the next person this story, and he got a bunch of people to believe it, and then, oh, look, that's Jesus. He resurrected. It's kind of hard to believe if you think like, okay, today, 2026, if somebody says, I am a prophet, I spoke to Jesus and he is back, are you going to believe him? Or are you going to say he's a drug addict today?
I would go back to the Catholic Church, basically. If that person is vetted by the Catholic Church, there is contingencies for that the Catholic Church has prepared for, right?
Okay.
That should Jesus Christ come back, there's like a plan for it. There's ways to vet. They have it's like the government, the U.S. government. They have a contingency for everything. If an asteroid hits, if a tsunami hits the coast, they have like SOPs, I guess you could say, that prepare them and tells them, hey, this is what needs to happen to verify this. I don't know what that is, but I know that the Catholic Church has something planned if somebody does claim. They send their investigator, just like whenever they investigate miracles. There are miracles that happen that the Pope and the Vatican will send investigators to either verify that it's true or that it's a hoax. And some of them are actually vetted as authentic miracles. The same thing with if a person comes out tomorrow and says, hey, I'm Jesus Christ, I'm reborn, I'm your Lord and Savior. they're going to be vetted, and I would look to the Catholic Church for guidance as to whether that person is real or not. You know.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know anything about that. So
Hmm.
how would they be able to vet somebody?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Well, I'm just
That's
talking
the
about
Catholic
how
Church.
how would you think
Yeah.
based off of what you think right now, how would you be able to vet somebody if you're from this time and not that time?
Dude, I have no idea. I have no clue.
From the
You know,
Bible,
that's the thing.
right? You'd have to vet them from
Yeah.
what you know, what you've learned.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is if Jesus came back to life today and said, all of that was not true, here's what actually happened.
Hmm.
Tell me that's not a possibility. If you
I would-
believe in
like I
resurrection,
said,
how what if he did come
yeah.
back and he's like, no, that was a crock of shit. That was actually Bill, the fucking drunk down the road who's trying to
Okay,
get people to follow.
What if that person is not Jesus Christ? What if he claims? What if he's an imposter? What if he's the Antichrist?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because in the Bible they talk about the Antichrist as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't that prove my point though?
There's many possibilities. That's why you would lean to the Catholic Church. You look for guidance from the Catholic Church, from the Pope, you know, from your religious leaders. You know what I mean? You don't go and basically, hey, you know, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and believe that guy says it and everything's bullshit because I think he's Jesus Christ. Just even though the Pope is saying, hey, it's heresy. Basically, he's the Antichrist. Don't believe him. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
but that's that's the
yeah.
confliction though. That is the confliction I'm talking about. Because you're telling me that they have to be the ones to vet, right? Who gives them the right if the higher power, being the resurrected Jesus or God himself, is the one who says, you are wrong and I'm telling you you're wrong. Now we get into the aspect of, well, I said you're not because I read this, like I am that. I'm telling you you're wrong. You would never know.
So do you think, right, if Jesus Christ came back and he wanted people to believe that he's Jesus Christ, he wouldn't have things to back up that he's Jesus Christ, for example? You know, what if he proves it to you through miracles, this very same thing that you say you don't believe in?
But you just said that there's an Antichrist that could possibly do the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but
how
like
can
I
you
said,
actually know?
I would lean for guidance from my church, basically.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Let's say somebody popped in and had a supernatural, I can heal this, watch, boom, and does it. You have no choice to say that has to be him.
Me? Why would I have no choice? Why would I, like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it unless my Catholic leaders, my religious leaders, you know, like that's why you go and pray over it. That's why you go seek guidance from your priest. Like, hey, what's going on? What's the Vatican saying about this? Please guide me. Like the whole purpose of the Catholic Church is to guide you through your beliefs. You know what I mean? Like if you have doubts, if you have questions, if you're going through inner turmoil, you know, for you to just go ahead on your own and say, hey, yeah, screw what the Catholic Church is saying, I'm going to believe this guy. You wouldn't be staying true to your original beliefs. You wouldn't be staying true to your Catholic religion.
Right.
Basically.
Well, and that's the problem then, because now you're telling me that you are more committed to the church that you go to versus what the religion itself was based off of.
Not necessarily. Like I said, because the Catholic religion, a church, is basically supposed to guide you like a moral compass.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. So if the Catholic Church came out tomorrow and said, hey, listen, we just found out that the devil, you know, he's the true God, blah, 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 obviously something's wrong. And one, that would never happen, you know, but obviously something's wrong because they're going against everything that is taught from the origin, which is the Bible, you know.
You say that, I'm giving you reasons why to doubt, right? Which is bad.
Yeah.
At the same time, all you can do is point me back to, well, the church. Okay, the church follows the Bible. So now you're just pointing back to what I said earlier. everything is believed off of just the Bible. Like your whole religion is whatever's in the Bible has to be true.
But
And that's where my problem
it's
is.
not just the Bible. It's not just the Bible, Brandon. It's also your inner spiritual belief. You know what I mean? Like your personal connection with God. You know, it's something that you form as a young person, or once you find religion at a later age. You
Right.
know, like that's faith, brother. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. You're not going off of the Bible isn't some legislature or law that was passed in Congress that you got to abide with. It
Yeah.
is tied into your spirituality, basically, and it's something that you have to truly believe in to follow. And whenever something like that happens, that's why people say, hey, go pray on it, man. You know, go talk to God, you know, see how he guides you. So
Right.
yes, the church is there. It's there to guide you, but the ultimate compass, the ultimate guide is your inner faith, your inner belief, your inner relationship with God. At least that's what I understand it as. I
Right.
don't, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm an expert, because I am far from an expert, brother.
Yeah.
I couldn't recite much from the Bible. It's something that actually I'm a little bit ashamed of. Like I probably should read the Bible a couple of times, you know, and I should have probably a better connection with God. I should have uh, probably tap into my spirituality a little bit more, you
Right.
know.
And
Um,
I'm totally with you by the way on the faith
yeah,
part. I think that
yeah,
it is a beautiful thing to sit there and say, I
hmm
am better because I'm following this. And if that's what
yeah,
makes you better, dude, more than welcome. Um,
yeah,
the problem that I have, and maybe you can answer it, you don't have to be an expert to answer. It's just something that maybe your input on it would help me maybe find the direction that
yeah,
I'm looking for, because I kind of want to take the kids and the family to church, but at the same time,
hmm
every time I speak to anyone, no matter if it's a Mormon, if it's the Baptist church, if it's a Catholic, right? If they run into me at Walmart, which just happened, and they make me feel they're very culty based off of the
yeah,
pushiness. Oh, you have to come. Here's this. And I have a couple things that I'd
yeah,
like to ask about it, because
yeah,
Catholics like to baptize, right?
hmm
Baptism is only supposed to happen after you have accepted Christ.
yeah,
So, but all Catholics baptize as a child, as a baby. You can't accept Christ
hmm
because you don't understand anything.
mm,
So that's what bothers me about that one.
so right, like right now, for example, right, like my James just got baptized recently.
Right.
There's In order for him to get baptized, it took him a little over a year to get baptized, because he had to go to Sunday school and he had to go through certain things to
Right.
be baptized. You know what I mean?
You have to
So
basically
yes,
prove that you accept Christ, right?
yeah, but like it's not prove. It's basically like an education. Like you're being taught the Bible. You're being taught certain things about the Catholic Church, why we do certain, because a lot of the Catholic religion is ceremonial. Like if you sit, like have you ever sat through mass
Yeah, I have.
before?
Yeah.
All right, so you see, like whenever you come down here, like you can, you know, we'll take you to church too, you know, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
You know, but it's that's one of the things. um I'm not gonna say I don't like about the Catholic Church, but it's just hasn't evolved. It's the ceremonial aspect of it. It's the
Right.
same thing every Sunday, you know, and you go through the motion. And I think that's one of the things that uh, why the Catholic Church is losing so many faithful people, you know,
Okay.
because they're not connecting with it. They want, I feel like they want a religion to do all the work for them. You know, it's like this advertisement, flashy thing. Come now, you know what I mean? Where that's not what the Catholic religion is about. Like the Catholic religion is basically it's helping you um, connect with your faith. You
Right.
know, not hey, let's party, let's jump up and down during mass, you know, and celebrate and stuff like that. You know, it's you're supposed to It's a test of faith.
So you go
Catholic Mass,
go to mass, all right?
Yeah.
From your perspective, is people who try to get people to come seem culty to you? Do they seem like a cult?
No. So that's the thing about the Catholic religion. You don't see Catholics going out there recruiting people into their religion. You don't.
Matter of fact, yeah, you're right. I don't think anybody's come to my door.
Yeah. Because you don't see that because there's no need, because we believe we are the original, Christians, that, like this is Jesus's church, basically. This is, his disciples founded it. This is the true religion. We don't need to recruit people. Like their faith, their true faith will bring them to us. Will bring them to the Catholic Church. Here's what those churches are. It's in an individual, right? Read the Bible, and then said, you know what? I don't like the way the Catholic Church is teaching, the Word of God. I'm going to teach it myself, and here's the way that I'm going to go ahead and create the Mormon book, the Jehovah book or whatever. I don't know what they call it.
That's the other one, yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean? So, and I'm going to teach it the way I believe it's supposed to be taught,
right.
And that's why I think, what was it? I forgot his name. One of our deacons would always joke, about how at the end of our days, we're going to meet St. Peter in the pearly gates and blah, 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 except for non-Catholics, like those Protestants. And he would go off about, because they believe, a lot of Catholic people believe that they're committing heresy by veering off of to a different church. They're letting an individual basically dictate what the Bible is teaching, where really, in reality, the church, you're supposed to read the Bible, basically, and make that decision for yourself, like interpret it yourself and find that inner faith yourself. Okay. That's why I like the Catholic religion. Like if you're into all that flashiness, stand up, I love it. I've been to those churches, man, and there's so much energy. You feel, like you feel the energy, you feel their faith.
Yeah.
But is that do you really believe yourself to be faithful if that's what it takes to attract you to God, basically?
Well, it depends, because you can't really argue that, right?
Yeah.
You're celebrating what you believe in, which is the whole beauty of being faithful,
you are.
Right? So I respect anybody. Like, I have no issues with any, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say no religion. You guys. I don't have, like, if you go to mass, if you go to just Sunday church, I don't know terminology, so excuse me on that, but I have respect for you. But I do believe that there are people, I would call them extremist on it. And because if you have to tell me it's true because the Bible said so, then I know that deep down, like you said, you have to believe that yourself.
Yeah,
that was your guidance. That's your compass. You don't say word for word, that's what it is. And here's one of the things. The prophecy's coming true. Yeah. The world division and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, World War I, II. Now we're working on 3. I'm like, you can't sit there and have a broad spectrum of everybody's fucking sick. COVID. We can control that if we know it, right? So, and maybe that's where my confliction is, that there's extremists out there who are very culty to me, and I don't like that. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I have this. I want to have faith because I think it's beautiful, but I can't believe anything in the supernatural aspect, because if you tell me, oh, in 6 days there will be a car accident and you go crash your car, so I knew it. Like, and that's what it seems like is happening sometimes.
No, so I honestly think that it is easier to not believe than it is to find the faith to believe. Yeah.
Without exact translation, it is, if I spend my entire life believing and nothing happens, I lose nothing. But if I spend my entire life not believing and something does happen, I lose everything.
Yeah,
and that's what really resonated with
yeah.
me, because I'm like, you're absolutely correct. It's a 50-50 chance, but that's also what gives me doubt, because you're saying it's a 50-50 chance. That's the doubt.
So here's the thing. That's not what that really, that's something that I believe, because that's one of the oldest sayings to get people interested, you know, because it makes them think. It made you think, didn't it? And guess what? It should provoke you into doing your research. And then once you do your research and once you go ahead and try to build that faith, guess what? You no longer think that, hey, it's a 50-50 chance, that's why I'm doing it. You truly are faithful now. Like, you're like, holy crap, I actually did all my, I actually did all my research and stuff, and now you're a faithful person. So it's not, don't think of that saying as, oh, hey, I'm being conned into becoming religious. It's not. It's just getting you to take that first step. I think doubt is healthy, but
yeah, absolutely, because otherwise now you're just blatantly following anything that you're told.
Exactly.
Homo sapiens date back before Adam and Eve, scientifically. Not Neanderthals, Homo sapiens. I'm not thinking, this is fact. This is scientific fact that Homo sapiens are before Adam and Eve.
So you think the timeline in the Bible is concrete? The same way that I told you that, hey, you know what? Simplest terms, things are explained. Everything is
no, but I'm saying you can't believe in both.
What are you talking about? I can't believe
the Bible says Adam and Eve are the first created humans. That's what the Bible says.
I believe in that. Yes.
So you cannot believe in any science that says there's something older than Adam and Eve. How can you believe that?
So
is Adam and Eve the first humans? Are they the first humans?
Yes.
Science tells us today there is 300,000 year old Homo sapiens, our direct descendants from 300,000 years ago.
Okay, so you're telling me basically there's no room for interpretation, black or white. That's it.
No, I'm saying that if you go to mass and say, who is the first humans? And they say Adam and Eve, there is no before. How are you going to believe that?
Okay, so Adam and Eve are Homo sapiens.
Correct.
Okay.
Science says
you're telling me,
first.
hold on. Okay.
But religion
what
does.
I'm trying to say is the timeline is concrete. You're saying because the Bible said, hey, this happened at this time,
you would have to
deviate from that.
You would have to, right? Because you just stated that the Old Testament's written, Jesus was alive, and then before that. The Bible says Adam and Eve are here, and they're the first creation of God for human. So you can't believe in any science then.
I'm not going to pick every single challenge that somebody out there has thrown towards religion and go and let it shake my faith and then go do research and pray on it, because guess what? I would never be able to live my life.
Well, you wouldn't be faithful if that was a thing.
Exactly.
You wouldn't be true faith. Yeah, but you just said you would have never thought to look up, wait a minute, if the Bible's true and Adam and Eve are 6,000 years old, how does science state that we have older
it's something
than
that dude, everyone knows that that's one of the biggest arguments that an atheist throws. But it's something that I never bothered because I didn't care. You know what I mean? It's something I never cared to look up.
You got to remember, though, the topic is not about justifying religion. It's not anything. It's me trying to find a way to say, you know what, you're right. Maybe I should. But no matter who I've talked to, you're just giving me a reason to say you don't have a reason. You're just telling me, oh, it's a Bible.
I'm not giving you a reason. I'm telling you, you need to go. It looks like you want to believe. Like you don't know which way to go, but you're leaning towards faith, right? I'm not telling you, hey, you're a heathen, you're a devil. You like, hey, all I'm telling you is you need to go, pray on it, go do your research, and go try to find God by doing your own research. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to recruit you into a cult. You know what I mean?
Let's say I do my research.
Yeah.
and my rational thought is the same. Now what? I'm still wrong because I'm told I'm wrong?
See, that's the thing. What do we learn in the military? What do we learn in the military whenever you're going for a promotion board, whenever you don't disqualify yourself. You don't go ahead and make assumptions and saying like, hey, I'm gonna do this, but this is what's gonna happen.
Right. But
You
it's
know what I
also
mean?
one of those
Like-
things where in the military, hey, the regulation states this. I don't care. That's not what it's meant to mean. You're saying the same thing.
But what do you what do
You're
you
saying
mean?
the same thing. We're talking about someone else's perception. So I'm
But what do
saying,
you-
is faith perception of your own or is faith perception of the Bible? Which one is it? You can't have
Make that
both.
decision for yourself, Brandon. You
I'm
have
asking
to go
you.
do the research.
Are you faithful because of the Bible or are you faithful because you want to be faithful? Which one is it?
I'm faithful because I have a personal connection with God. I
Right.
pray and he has answered my prayers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I have
okay
a
with that.
spiritual
I can-
connection.
I
You know
can
what I
say
mean? So
that's good.
so throughout my life, things have happened to me, right? Where if everything was random, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I can totally agree
Like
with that.
I have been guided, like meeting my wife, having my kids, you know, as horrible as some of the shit that's happened to me and as good as some of the shit that's happened to me throughout my life were basically a journey that made me the person I am today, and that's because of God. That's because he set out a path,
Right.
you know, and I believe that, you know, through just my spiritual belief. I don't believe that it was random, and that's
Yes.
the without faith
Right.
is a problem, because this is what this country is going through right now. We're taking religion out of schools. We're taking religion out of government and all that stuff, because even our forefathers, when they built this country, it was built on faith, like Christian faith, you know, but still, it's a moral compass.
I'm glad it took me almost 3 hours to get my point across. That what I should have led with was, I wanted to ask you that I believe in faith over religion. And that's really what I was trying to get
Which
across.
makes more sense.
Right. It makes a lot more sense because now you understand what I'm actually trying to say is, how can I choose one or the other if they're not the same, but they believe in
You
the
don't
same
have
faith?
to choose one or the other.
I know I sound like I'm disagreeing with everything. I'm questioning. I'm questioning on give me a reason why, and then I will analyze said reason. Yeah. Anyway, close us
Good
out,
talk,
man.
man. It was a roller coaster.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
but I
and we
think
have that
it was good.
challenge,
Yeah.
and that's what I wanted. I wanted the challenge, and I wanted to make it very clear. I'm not arguing the faith. I'm arguing
Mhm.
why religion is so different and also the same at the same time. So for the comment section, make sure we invite people to tell us what religion are you affiliated with and why. You know, if you want to have a conversation, I'm open for it. I would love to hear what other people's thoughts are.
Absolutely, man. Like you know, let us know what you think, you know, what whether you believe in the Catholic teachings or whether you lean more towards Protestant, or heck, if you believe in the Quran or the Torah, you know, whatever it is, what led you to the faith that you're practicing right now, you know, and what challenges did you face whenever you were trying to find your faith? Let us know in the comments. All right. But make sure you subscribe, follow, like, comment, and share. Sharing helps us out a lot, but please, just having that helps the algorithm in Facebook. You know, we're trying to push content out on Facebook mostly, so when you hit that it just helps us out with the algorithm. So please make sure you like.
As always, 22 seconds your way.